Hello and welcome to my video on converting between units of length, area, and volume. So I would recommend you pause the video and attempt to fill in the blank spaces here. And if you're having trouble, then just keep watching. Let's check it out. Okay, how can we fill in the blank space here? 1 kilometer is how many meters? All right, I've made a little flashcard, so let's check it out. Kilo means times 1,000. All right, so that means times 1,000. So 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. I would like you to lock that fact in your mind. That's fact one we've got to lock in our mind. This one, 1 meter is how many centimeters? Can you think about what that might be? All right, 1 meter is 100 centimeters because cent means times 100. And I remember that because there's 100 years in 1 century and there's 100 cents in $1. So centi means times 100. Another fact to lock in your mind. Now, what about 1 centimeter is how many millimeters? Now, I'll just show you this. 1 centimeter is about the size of your thumb, right? About that width. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. There's 10 little pins in 1 centimeter. Okay, so this is another conversion fact to remember. So there's 3 main conversion facts and there's a special one called hectares that we're going to go through later. But if you can remember these, you'll be all right. So as I said, lock these 3 facts in your mind. Cent means times 100, kilo means times 1,000, and then 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Think of the size of your thumb. How many pins could you fit there? Another fact before we get onto those questions at the beginning is we need to realize what is the actual, how can we order these from smallest to largest unit? We need to understand, okay, is a centimeter bigger than a kilometer? And, well, it's not. And let's order these from smallest to largest to understand that. So hopefully you understand what's the smallest and what's the biggest unit. So 1 kilometer is much, much bigger than 1 millimeter. A kilometer is bigger than a meter, bigger than a centimeter, bigger than a millimeter. All right, so I want you to remember that that's the order in which they go. All right, so maybe take a note of this slide. This is the process we're going to use to convert units. And we've also got a little mini version at the bottom of each slide. So let's check it out. So how to convert between units. So you write, let's take it step by step. You write the units you are given on the left and the units you want on the right. Okay, well, it's already given to us there. That's nice. Given 20 centimeters is how many millimeters? Recall the conversion fact. Okay, what is the conversion fact linking centimeters to millimeters? Do you remember that thumb fact that I showed you? Which one was that? It was back on slide 5. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So I'm going to just write that here. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. That's what we need to realize first. Now this might sound a bit weird, but it's all right. Which is the horse unit? Label it. That's just saying which is the bigger unit. Like if you had to classify one of these as a horse, what's going to be the horse unit? What's the bigger unit? And it says label it. Now I know from back here that centimeters is bigger than millimeters, right? So centimeters here is the horse unit. Now I'm going to label it horse. Bear with me, all right? And then it also says here, label the other unit fly. All right. Okay. Horse to fly, multiply. Fly to horse, divide of course. These really help, okay? So let's draw an arrow. Where are we going? We're going horse to fly. So we must multiply by that unit conversion factor. We must multiply by that 10. Okay, we're going to get lots of practice, so don't worry. Now, what's 20 times 10? Well, we just put a 0 on the end. We make it 10 times bigger. So 20 centimeters is 200 millimeters. And let's keep working with it, all right? Back to our process. So we write the units we're given on the left and the units we want on the right. We've got the given that, and we want how many kilometers is 2,350 meters. Now we need to look at what is the conversion fact that links meters with kilometers. So forget this number for now. We just want the conversion fact linking meters with kilometers. And we come back to slide 5. Which of these links meters to kilometers? Well, this one. Kilo means times 1,000. So I'm just going to write down that fact. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. I'm just interested in that number, right? That's our conversion factor. All right. Which is the horse unit? So we're just looking at meters and kilometers. What's bigger, 1 meter or 1 kilometer? Okay. Kilometer is bigger, so that's going to be the horse unit. This is the smaller unit, so it's fly. Then we draw our arrow from left to right. Okay. Fly to horse, divide, of course. So we're going to divide by that unit conversion factor. Divide by 1,000. Now, to divide a number by 1,000, you're making it smaller. So there's a little invisible decimal place there. I'm going to move 3 places, since there's 3 zeros in 1,000, and put the decimal there. So 2,350 meters is 2.35 kilometers. You can just drop the 0 if it's after the decimal point and the significant figures. So let's check out the next one. Okay, let's try and... So we've got to first write the units we're given on the left, units we want on the right. Recall the conversion fact. Just ignore that number for now. What's the conversion fact linking centimeters to meters? What does centi mean? So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. We come back here. Oh, this one. Cent means times 100 because, 100 years in 1 century, 100 cents in $1. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. We've got our conversion fact, which is the horse unit, okay, of centimeters and meters. So 1 meter, how does that compare to 1 centimeter? Which is the horse? This is the horse. So the other one must be the fly. And then draw your arrow across. Fly to horse, divide, of course, this one. So we're going to divide by this conversion factor. Divide by 100. If we divide, we're making it smaller. Invisible decimal point, move 2 places, since there's 2 zeros in 100. Next one, using our process. Okay, we've written down our units. We recall the conversion fact. What links kilometers to meters? Kilo means times 1,000. All right, 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, since kilo means 1,000. Then we decide on our unit, which is the horse unit. So what's bigger, 1 kilometer or 1 meter? That's correct. So that's the horse. The kilometer is the horse. Horse to fly, multiply. So we're going to multiply by this guy. Multiply by 1,000. If we're multiplying a number by 1,000, we're making it bigger. So we're just going to add zeros on the end. 5 kilometers is 5,000 meters, adding 3 zeros on the end. Now we can try and do it without this, right? So we have our units written. Now we need to work out what's the fact linking millimeters to centimeters. So again, I'm thinking of my thumb. There's 10 little pins in 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Write that fact straight down. And then we need to work out which is the horse unit. Okay, and if we're confused, we just line them all up, right? So where's my... It is here. So which is the bigger unit, the horsier unit out of these? It's going to be centimeters, right? So that's our horse, which means, oops, my shoulder was really up high then. So that's the horse. This is the fly. Do your arrow across. Fly to horse. Divide, of course. Divide by 10. Invisible decimal point. We're making the number smaller. 47.2. Okay. Now, what do we got? 6.84 meters to centimeters. What's our conversion fact linking meters to centimeters? Well, cent means 100. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Okay. And then, so we've got our conversion fact looking nice. We just need to work out, do we divide or multiply by it? All right. Now, what is the horse unit out of 1 meter and 1 centimeter? What's bigger? Meters is the horse unit here. And then you draw your arrow across. And we are going to, okay, horse to fly, multiply. We're making the number bigger. So moving that decimal place to the right. 684 centimeters, 6.84 meters. Okay. And I think we're actually going to skip this one. I think we've got the hint. Okay. This slide here. Now look, we've got meters squared and centimeters squared. And we don't even need to remember conversion facts for square meters and centimeters. We know the conversion fact from meters to centimeters, right? So write that straight down. And so now we are working out, okay, which is the horsier unit? It is going to be meters, right? Or meters squared, right? And then horse to fly, we're going to multiply by 100, but we need to think about it because meters squared to centimeters squared means you're going to have to square the factor. So 100 squared is just the same as 100 times 100. All right, but you need to apply that factor. Remember to square it. And yeah, I'm just going to use my calculator for this one. And if I type in my calculator, 8 times 100 squared, 80,000. So that's a lot, right? Okay, now we go kilometers squared to meters squared. Well, let's just think. What's the fact linking kilometers to meters? 1 kilometer, 1,000 meters. And then we work out, okay, which is the horsier unit? Meters or kilometers? Well, kilometers. Then we worry about the squared bit, okay? Horse to fly, multiply by our little conversion factor. But we have got kilometers squared and we want to get to meters squared. So we must times by 1,000 squared. So 2, I don't know why I'm doing this in my calculator. Oh yeah, I need to. 2 times 1,000 squared is 2 with 6 zeros. So 2 million. 2 million square meters. So this is the benefit of having different types of units because you can't be bothered to write all these zeros. So you use kilometers squared instead of meters squared. Now this one, just to throw a spanner in the works 14 minutes into the video, hectares versus hectares to meters squared. So this is the conversion fact that you need to remember. All right. 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. So they use this conversion fact on farms and stuff. It's just easier to say a few hectares than many thousands of square meters. So this is another conversion factor. Lock in your mind. 2 hectares to meters squared. Well, if 1 hectare is 10,000 meters squared, right? We know that hectare is the horse-year unit. And you are going to be multiplying by that conversion factor. And this time we don't do the square thing. It's just, it's a weird conversion factor, this one. I think I avoided it for a long time. Okay. 20,000. 1 hectare is 10,000 meters squared. Remember that. 80,000 square meters to hectares. So we're going, hectares we know is that big unit that's convenient for farmers to use. So this time we're going fly to horse. Divide, of course. So we're going to divide by that conversion factor. And if we're dividing by 10,000, just want to show you, cross off those, 8 divided by 1 is 8. So 8 hectares is 80,000 meters squared. And then I wanted to show you, I think this is the last slide. Oh, that's good. Okay, so now we've got cubic millimeters and cubic centimeters. Again, we need to work out what links millimeters to centimeters. Forget about this cube for now. I know that that's the thumb factor, right? So 1 centimeter is 10 little pins, 10 millimeters. Okay, so, and then which is the horse unit out of millimeters and centimeters? Centimeters is actually the horse unit here. Fly to horse, divide. Oh, what's wrong with my writing today? Divide, of course. So we're going to divide by 10. But then we realized we wanted millimeters cubed to centimeters cubed. So we must also cube that conversion factor. So 0.2 in my calculator divided by 10 cubed is a very, very tiny number. 0.0002. Okay. And then we've got meters cubed to centimeters cubed. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, which is the horse-year unit out of meters and centimeters. The bigger unit is this one. So the meters, horse to fly, multiply by conversion factor. And then you realize I wanted meters cubed to centimeters cubed. I must cube that conversion factor. So we're doing, 0.035 times 100 cubed. Times 100 cubed. 35,000. Looks nice. So this is the takeaways from today. If you want to copy down this slide or copy down an example as well. And yeah, so 4 facts to remember. Remember this guy. I always forget him.